At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Good evening and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. We are finally into that home stretch. Friday right around the corner, and we're shaping up for a beautiful forecast here in North Mississippi. Again, welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and we have an action-packed show despite it being a very dry pattern. That's because we have a brief warm-up occurring on Friday, but don't let that fool you because heading into that forecast beyond, it's all downhill from here, and we're talking about temperatures cooling off into the weekend, and we are going to see our coldest temperatures of the season so far. So have you gotten your layers out yet? If not, I think we will by the start of next week. We'll take a look at those temperatures in just a moment. Luckily, our skies stay sunny and dry, but we are tracking a limited, dare I say, a limited rain potential into your Saturday afternoon. We'll again break that down county by county in just a moment, but we thank you for joining us here on Mississippi Live Weather at 10. We are going to start with the first 12, and as you can see, 38 degrees by 11 doesn't really change much from there. We're only dropping into maybe 37, 36 degrees as we get towards that early morning commute, but then from there, the sun is out, shining bright and warming us up nicely. You see those temperatures. No, it is not a trick your eyes are playing on you. It is actually going to be 43 degrees by 8 and 58 degrees by 11 a.m. Yes, that sunshine doing its damage, and we are very grateful here in North Mississippi to finally get a little bit of a warm-up. We did have a brief warm-up yesterday, cooled down today, and we're getting back on track heading into our Friday forecast. You see 39 degrees in Oxford right now. A few of those cumulus clouds moving through the area, but those dry conditions still prevailing. 32-degree dew points, feels like 36, so bumping it down a few degrees. That's as those breezy conditions, about 5 to 10 miles an hour, push in place, and that's going to drop those feels-like values as well. Now, of course, if we show Oxford, we got to show Starkville. 37 degrees, feels-like values around 34, so some areas will feel around freezing heading into that morning commute, but those actual values are going to be sitting above freezing, so I don't believe we're going to be tracking any frosty conditions for that morning commute. Now, will you need the layers and will you need the heat? Yes, but we might not have to clear those windshields off like we did this morning. And of course, let's get a live look there in Fulton. We see 41 degrees right now, feels like around 38 degrees, so that those feels like values bumping it down about 2 to 3 degrees as we get into that overnight commute. Again, those winds not overbearing, but whenever it's this cold, every degree matters. You see 46 South Haven and Tunica, a little bit warmer out there towards the northwest. The rest of us, 39 Grenada, Oxford, 41 Tupelo, 45 Louisville, and 44 around Belzona. We are gradually cooling off overnight, and we expect to remain in the mid to upper 30s heading into tomorrow morning. But we're talking about feels-like values. Look at how we bump those down. I'm going to go back to those actual temperatures. You see those low to mid 40s. Now look at those feels-like values. A lot of mid to upper 30s showing up, and that tells us that those windy conditions are going to be in place, bumping those temperatures down in regards to how it feels outside. So maybe that'll convince you to put an extra layer on than what you're originally planning on doing this late at night. Wind speeds, not anything too incredible, maybe up to 10 miles an hour there in Tunica, but we really expect it to be a calm to almost 5 miles an hour across the region. Some gusts getting up to 10 to 15 miles an hour, but that's just going to be your usual pattern this time of year. We just usually have those breezy nights across North Mississippi, but those breezy nights do keep it dry across North Mississippi, and that's why we are not tracking a drop over the top of the north half of the Magnolia State. Not even just a drop, not even any cloud cover. I mean, it is just that dry of a pattern. Of course, drought monitor going to be affected by these dry conditions. This is the latest look at the drought monitor being issued earlier this morning. Been talking about it all day long. Not much change. The only change that is noticeable, Northeast Alabama. So here in North Mississippi, we're basically copy and paste from where we sat last week with that level 3 drought extending along I-55 for Water Valley, folks in Batesville, Oxford, down to Grenada, and including Calhoun County there towards Bruce. The rest of us, level 2 drought from Shelby all the way into the Houston area, and then level 1 drought in Monroe County to parts of Greenwood, Sunflower County, and up there towards Tunica County. So it could be worse. Could be better, but that's just how dry things have been here recently. If we highlight in a few of these numbers real quick, you can see that those yellows on the scale are below average. We want it to be at 100% so it can meet the normal precipitation requirements across North Mississippi. And as I populate in a few of these numbers right here, you can get a visual on the fact that we're not anywhere close in some parts, 52%, 41% just south of Panola County, and 69% towards Tate County. So we're not close to that 100% value, except for one area. Shout out Benton County, 140%, Marshall and Tippah County included within that as well. It's been a soggier forecast along the state line, down around Monroe County, getting close to average. Same thing for Pontotoc, but those are just a few areas in the entirety of North Mississippi that's actually getting the amount of rainfall it needs. The rest of us, just a very dry pattern. And as we look at that over the total of the year, this is why we have that level 3 drought along I-55. It's because those below average conditions still are in place for the entire year. Shelby about 81%, Batesville 82%, and even now they're towards Yalobusha County 87%. So it's not extreme by any means, but it is a little bit below what we need for this time of year. And so we're hoping that that increases, not affects parades, so maybe a morning rain shower. That's really what we need here in North Mississippi. So that way we can get what we need to done, but also get that rainfall that we so desperately need in some areas as well. The rest of us looking good to go. So that level 1 drought, I mean, we're right on the outskirts of it. I wouldn't be surprised if that were lifted during our next big rain event. So let's extend it out. What are we tracking right now? Well, if you want snow, head up to Illinois or Indiana or Kentucky. I mean, even parts of East Tennessee getting that as well around, I think that's close to Chattanooga, but high pressure is still driving our forecast and giving us those dry conditions. But we always talk about the positioning of the high pressure system. And it's down towards our southeast, so those winds, as they move in that clockwise motion, bringing in that Gulf moisture here to North Mississippi, or really the entirety of Mississippi. So that's going to be that warmer, I'm not going to put warm, I'm going to put warmer air, and that's going to be moving into Mississippi overnight and into our Friday morning. We also have this warm sector that's back behind this warm front up here in Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky. So you have all this warm air that's right behind it, and so we are in that warm sector right now. But the effects of that cold front that's going to be moving in by the time we get into our Friday, that's that drier and cold, I'm going to put cold, not even cool, cold forecast that's going to be moving in back behind that front. That front, our big driver tomorrow, but not going to feel those effects until the weekend. So there's your annotation. You can tell your teachers that you did your annotation for the week on Mississippi Live Weather. There you go, students. But let's go ahead and get into that futurecast. And as you can see right here, that front moving into the area, that cold front right there across Oklahoma City, close to Fayetteville, and up there around St. Louis. That's by 3 a.m. on your Friday. So as we get more to that Friday morning forecast, that front inching closer and closer. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit more so we can see these winds. And as you can see, the winds still southerly into our Friday morning. But back behind that front, those winds are already starting to shift. So as the day goes on, we're going to start at that southerly direction, move southwesterly by 9 a.m., move westerly by noontime, and then into the afternoon, we're already getting those northerly winds into our forecast, and that's going to cool things off heading into our Saturday and really into our Sunday and Monday. So I hope you're ready for a cold forecast. It is right around the corner. The next 24, 39 degrees by 6, jumping to 49 by 9, jumping to 61 by noon, and then 63 by the afternoon. That's a good looking forecast for sure. I hope you guys have some plans to get outside because this is as picture perfect as you can get for this time of year, especially with how clear those skies will be. So get out there and enjoy it. Saltillo Christmas Parade happening tomorrow evening as well. We're going to be doing some pre-parade coverage, so we cannot wait to be out there and get to see some of you guys. But we hope that you guys do enjoy these conditions. Do stay warm though, it is still a cold commute to work in the morning. By the afternoon, we should be shaping up for a good forecast. All right, coming up in the next 60, what are we going to be looking at? Well, I told you it's going to be warm for Friday, but there was that second stage, that cool off, that significant drop off heading into the weekend. We're going to be assessing that in a little bit more detail here from the Room to Room Weather Center. We're also going to be looking about how that impacts our parade forecast tomorrow evening. Full breakdown of that happening on Mississippi Live Weather at 10 here in the next 60.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
We come from a long line of farmers, and there's a sense of pride, but there's also a significant amount of pressure.
Farmers have to take care of their physical and their mental health, because what's a farm without a farmer?
Watching the sun come up, that's my time. I can have a cup of coffee, and every day is a new opportunity.
That's cool.
Your hand's gotten so cute. Yay!
Don't forget to check in on yourself. Love, your mind.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
You know, we're here talking about a great forecast. How about the skies this evening? Beautiful sunsets across North Mississippi. Posted on my page a little bit earlier ago about all the photos that you guys submitted, like 35 different pictures from around North Mississippi. Highly recommend you checking it out and maybe see some that were in your area. A great look. And again, thank you to everybody for submitting those pictures. And we're glad that we get to showcase a few of those here on Mississippi Live Weather. This is Vicki in the Palmetto community. And as you can see, I love the trees in the foreground and how we get those black hues right there because it's that shadow. And of course, the main attraction is that sunset in the background. It's just such a good looking view. And I know that folks over there in the Palmetto community enjoyed it. I know folks all across North Mississippi enjoyed it. Another look is over in Moorville. This is Noah submitting this picture. And again, a great shot, still with some of those cumulus clouds, a little bit of cirrus clouds as well, working their way into the skies. And that just added to it, painting a beautiful portrait. Shout out God, he showed off once again tonight. Now, as we bring it back into a live look in North Mississippi, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and that sunset did come to an end, but we are left with a beautiful night sky. Some of those stars showing up way at the top of your screen, but it's 39 degrees right now, a little bit cooler, but those dew points still around 35, means that it is going to be a very dry forecast. Now, I saw some folks in chat talking about the term feels like values. That's just a term we use to describe wind chill. They're the same thing. Wind chill is just basically the actual terminology because it's the winds dropping those temperatures, but we termed it as feels like because, you know, when you walk out the door, that's what it will actually feel like. So there's a little bit of a piece of knowledge for you. But yeah, they're the same thing. So no, it's not something different. So you don't have to reroute your mind. It's all equivalent. But as we take a look at those feels like values in Winona, even bumping those temperatures down in Montgomery County to 43 degrees where those actual values are about 45. So feels like wind chill going to be a few degrees cooler than where things actually are here in North Mississippi. Now, Saltillo, great shot there. 24 hours, actually less than that until your parade tomorrow evening, 41 degrees. So it is going to be a cooler forecast heading into those evening time frames. So layer up once again, despite it being a little bit warmer than where things sat today. We're still in that late fall, early winter season. Well, Siri wants to know a little bit about the forecast. Can't blame her. It's looking that good and everyone wants to be a part of it. Temperatures, 39 degrees Oxford, Grenada, Bruce, 41 New Albany, and 37 towards Starkville. So we are gradually cooling off. A little bit warmer out there in Clarksdale, Cleveland, and Greenville. But it's again those wind chill values, those feels like values that are making it feel that much colder heading out and about. Now, temperature-wise, you can see that we are in the coldest part of the forecast, at least for this pattern. 38 degrees Meridian, 38 degrees Birmingham, 35 Chattanooga, and 34 around Asheville. Yeah, grateful to not be up there right now. But out west, there are some warmer temperatures that are moving in. This is that warm sector we're talking about, building into the Mississippi area and warming our temperatures up by the time we get to our Friday. So we're going to have a great forecast to enjoy temperature-wise. Already seeing that warming trend in place. I mean, you can see a 2-degree difference over the past 24 hours. Potentially getting up to 5 to 7 degree difference as we get into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. So can't say it enough. It's looking good for our Friday. Let's go ahead and get into that day planner. And as you can see overnight, it is going to cool off. We're not talking about a warm forecast whatsoever. I'm using the term warmer because it's warmer than what we had today. 38 degrees by midnight. Climbing, that's not really the word I want to use, but 39 degrees by 6, gradually warming up by those early morning hours, but really warming up once that sun does come up. So Futurecast tonight keeps things pretty cold, but also pretty clear. Those conditions continue into those early AM hours, and by the time we get towards that morning commute, you can see how beautiful of a forecast we're talking about. Still with those breezes coming out of the south, so maybe bumping those temperatures down for those feels like or wind chill values to around mid to upper 30s compared to those actual readings in the upper 30s, low 40s. So that's the one note with our forecast Friday morning, but either way, it's going to be a good forecast. Just have those layers like you've had all week long. So here's a look at low temperatures. We're talking upper 30s to low 40s, 41 Cleveland, 42 South Haven, 37 Tupelo, Amory, Columbus, Macon, Vernon, Aliceville. A lot of locations going to be around that same margin. But let's factor in that wind chill. And as you can see, bumping them back to where it feels like freezing in Columbus and Vernon, despite it being actually 37 degrees. Same thing out west. We're getting low 40s up the Mississippi River. Real feel value is going to be in the upper 30s. So that's what we're worried about heading into that morning commute, is just that wind chill bumping it back for how it'll feel out the door. Of course, 39 degrees around pickup, climbing to 63 degrees at drop-off. I'm not saying it's shorts type weather, but if I was filming football, I very well might have some shorts on those sidelines just because you get the adrenaline going. You can wear them then, but if you're just sitting around, it's going to be cold. Still 63 degrees, but it's much better than where things have sat, and it'll be a great forecast to enjoy getting outside with a pullover and just be able to soak up all of that sunshine. But let's expand things out and talk about the bigger picture. And what is that? Well, it's going to be this front that moves through Friday morning. This is 7:30, and as it moves closer to the Memphis area by 9 a.m., starts to swing through North Mississippi beyond that point into our late morning and early afternoon time frame. Now, what this will do is drop our temperatures as those winds shift from a southerly direction to a northerly component, and that's going to really bring in that cooler, drier air. Colder, drier air, should I say, because those temperatures already starting to drop heading into our Saturday, but Friday afternoon will not feel those effects just yet, so it's still going to be an above average forecast that we get to enjoy all afternoon long. As we look at those high temperatures, you can see low to mid 60s with 62 New Albany, 63 Tupelo, 59 Red Bay, and then 64 Grenada, 65 Eupora, Starkville, 66 Macon, Columbus, Kosciuszko. I mean, that's as good as you're going to get for this time of year. So soak it all up. It's looking like a great forecast. But then we get into I forgot the parade forecast. Don't let me forget this. I know that our parades kick off at 7 p.m. here in Saltillo. It's going to be 48 degrees around that time frame, 57 a little bit before that kickoff, and then 44 by 9 once those parades are wrapping up and cleanup is underway. So make sure to layer up, especially if you are heading out further into the night, because those temperatures just continue to drop as we get into those overnight hours. All right, this is what I wanted to discuss, and it's going to be Futurecast heading into our Friday night and Saturday morning. I'm going to expand it out because you see round 2 coming. Now, luckily, this is not going to bring any storms, no rain. It's going to be a very dry pattern. So both of these fronts dry as they work their way through North Mississippi, but by the time we get into our Saturday morning, you can see that front inching closer and closer, moving into the Jonesboro area by 3 a.m., and by the time we get towards 6 a.m., getting right over the top of the Memphis and Jackson, Tennessee region. So as we get into our Saturday, we are watching this next front. Of course, that first front, let me zoom it out one more time so I can show you. This first front that's all the way out here in the Atlantic, that's going to drop temperatures just a bit heading into our Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. But if you take a look at this next front, as it works its way through our area Saturday morning and afternoon, that's going to drop those temperatures once again. So cold, getting even colder by the time we work our way into Sunday, despite it still being some sunny skies. Now, I do want to note, it's not an impossibility that we get a shower on the back end of our Saturday, but that's going to be a few sprinkles. I'm not tracking significant moisture. It's really going to be a mostly dry forecast with the occasional off and on shower, primarily for southwest portions of our viewing area from Holmes County all the way out there towards the Grenada County area. So that's where we're watching, is going to be this threshold southwest of I-55 in our viewing area. So high temperatures, yes, they're going to be a step back, but this isn't the significant cold that I'm talking about. 55 in Oxford, 54 Boonville, 59 Amory, with low 60s still along and south of Highway 82. But let's go ahead and look at that extended forecast, and that's going to be whenever we're looking at high temperatures throughout the next 7 days. Are you ready for it? Yeah. It's the day that's not appearing. That's how cold it's going to be. 63 degrees for Friday, dropping to 57 Saturday, dropping to, I'll tell you the temperature, mid-30s for high temperatures on your Sunday afternoon. Yeah. And then Monday only getting to 40 degrees. So when we're talking cold, we're talking extreme cold environment that it's going to be something you want to layer up for. Bring those pets and plants inside. And of course, you might need to get those pipes on a drip as well, just because, or should I say faucets on a drip to accommodate for those freezing cold conditions. Oh, and I'll show you low temperatures too. Exactly what you're thinking. Where's Monday? Monday is so cold that it's actually moving off of the frame. We're talking into the upper teens. Tuesday morning only going to be around 25, and that's jumping over Sunday. Sunday only going to be in the upper 20s. So guys, we need to layer up. We need to stay safe. This is that extreme cold forecast we're talking about, and it doesn't last forever. As you saw, our low temperatures getting back into the upper 40s by Thursday as that moisture returns to the forecast. So this has been one that we've been paying attention to over the last several days, where our weekend has been dry and cold and then had some rainfall and it warmed up. Now we're getting back into crunch time, and what is exactly is expected to happen? That's going to be those drier conditions prevailing by the time we get into our Sunday, and with those dry conditions come a temperature drop, and those temperatures dropping significantly. That's why we are very cold for Sunday, especially all day long, with highs only reaching the mid-30s, and then sunshine all day long, so don't let that sun fool you, not warming anything up. And then Monday, same thing with those sunny skies, with all of that clear, dry air. We're dropping those temperatures into the upper teens Monday morning, and only getting to the low 40s. But like I said, this cold spurt does not last forever, and we warm up heading into midweek. So we just have to survive a couple of days. And I don't want to just completely jump into the end of the weekend. Guys, we have a beautiful forecast for our Friday and for our Saturday. So make sure to get out there and enjoy it, because this is a picture-perfect forecast for sure. Yeah, talk about a roller coaster, Brenda. Couldn't have said it better myself. That is a roller coaster that when you're at Disney World or Universal or Six Flags or something like that, and you have the seatbelt and the restraint, it's one of those. That's how significant of a roller coaster we're talking about. It's that much downhill. So buckle up, literally. All right, I'm trying to look at some of the chat. Jason, coming back Monday or Tuesday. You sure you want to come back then? You sure you don't want to wait till Wednesday or Thursday? I'm trying to may go outside and play Friday for sure. Highly recommend that. It's going to be that good of a forecast on Friday for sure. So I don't want you guys to just skip over that. It's going to be a good looking forecast for sure. Yeah, and Brenda, I hope I elaborated on the feels like values a little bit more. Feels like and wind chill are basically the same thing. It's just basically, lets folks put it into perspective of, what is it going to feel like walking out there? What exactly does wind chill mean? Is it going to be a breeze that freezes me? No, it's just a wind that kind of knocks those temperatures down. And that's where we get wind chill, feels like values. Either way works. All right, let's go ahead and, I saw someone ask about my wife. It's 10:25. It's Gabbing with Gabe time. Give me 1 second right here. I'm going to scroll to the top and Okay, Jason asked me, was your wife on TV in Texas a few years ago? Mine wasn't. Matt's wife was over there in Lubbock, Texas. And that was back in the 2010s, I believe. So yeah, my wife, she is a teacher over at Boonville and has lived in the Tupelo general area for her entire life. So unless she had a brief moment in Texas that I don't know about, I don't think so. So yeah, I think that we're, I don't know which one you're talking about. Maybe ask Matt tomorrow if that's the one you're thinking of, but yeah. Annalise has been a Mississippi girl through and through. But, an Ole Miss game. I see people asking about that. We're going to get a forecast out coming up tomorrow, I believe, that forecast those games, because we are a week away tomorrow. So we're going to get you an update on that forecast. But if you're going, golly, those tickets and that housing, they are steep right now. Well, Brenda, it's 10 o'clock and I don't want to make you have to think. So that's why I wanted to explain a little bit. I know wind chill. Some folks have heard wind chill. Some folks have heard feels like value. So we're trying to address both. Buckle up, Buttercup. That's how we're going to end it. Buckle up, Buttercup. That's how cold things are going to be getting. You guys make sure to stay warm heading into early next week, but we'll keep you updated on that beautiful forecast heading into your Friday. Of course, the best way to stay prepared, we mentioned it every time, the Mississippi Live weather app, free and available on iOS and Android today. Make sure to go download that, submit your weather watcher pictures. That's how we got those sunsets tonight. And we want to see those sunrises tomorrow morning. Going to be a beautiful forecast, and that sun defining our forecast for our Friday. So we want to showcase that and showcase what you guys can take some pictures of out there in North Mississippi. Our next broadcast happening bright and early at 6:37 and 7:30. Make sure to have that warm cup of coffee handy. It's going to be a good one for sure. Meteorologist Maggie McCauley having the very latest on that forecast. Jason, that's kind of crazy. I did not know there was an Annalise on Channel 11. So shout out Annalise. It was not my Annalise. I think she's been Mississippi girl through and through. At least that's what I know, but I believe that to be true. Well, you guys have a great night, and we will see you back bright and early on your Friday morning. Have a fantastic Friday ahead.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.